everyone, so today's video is a really fun one. I'm going to be doing a makeup tag that Allie Glines actually created, and it is called 21 Questions Makeup Edition. And right when I saw her post this video, I knew I had to do this tag. So there are 21 questions, so I'm gonna try not to spend too much time on each question, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. So the first question is the oldest makeup product in my collection, and this is a really difficult one because now I have started keeping track of the specific date that I bring products into my collection. But when I first started getting into makeup and purchasing makeup, there was so much and I didn't keep track of it in any way. So I really don't know what the oldest product in my collection is, but one of the oldest is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. As you can see, this is just a little mini like sample size. I believe this did come in one of like those Sephora favorites kits like years and years ago. I probably had this for way too long and it looks like it hasn't really even been used, but I remember using this a lot when I first got it. And this is now in a project pan. It's in my monochromatic project pan, so I'll have that linked if you guys are interested. But I have used this a lot and I feel like there's not even a dip in it. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna take me a really long time to use this up or even hit pan on it. But this is definitely one of the oldest products in my collection and it still smells and works perfectly fine. It smells like chocolate and yeah, it's still definitely good. It hasn't gone bad yet, which is surprising because I have probably had this for way too long, but this is one of the oldest products in my collection. The next question is my most recent makeup purchase, and in 2021 I am on a complete makeup no buy, so I haven't bought any makeup since December, and my last purchase was actually from Makeup Geek. They're having a sale on a lot of their products because they did do their whole rebranding and their pans are now square instead of round, so they were having a really good sale on some of their round single shadows and some other products. So I did purchase a bunch of their single shadows, not too many. I only purchased a few, specifically all of the green ones that I could find because I have been wanting to make a green palette for so long, and I knew 2021 I was going on a no buy, so I kind of just wanted to put together some kind of green palette to play with so that I could have that green palette satisfaction and not actually have to pay a lot or buy a ton, because I literally got each of these shadows for $1, and I actually made a video going through all of my single shadows and decluttering them and creating this palette, so I will have that linked if you guys would like to see that video. But yeah, I did create this on my own, and a lot of these are brand new, but some of them I have had in my collection. So I believe like 6 of these are brand new, and those specific shades are the newest addition to my collection. The next question is the first product you ever used, and this was a difficult one, and a lot of these questions were pretty hard. I was trying to think back to when I first started getting into makeup, and I believe the first product, which is kind of boring, that I started using is a clear mascara. So I would put on a clear mascara on my eyelashes and also through my brows, which in reality probably did almost nothing, but I for some reason felt like it did a lot. So that's what I would wear every day when I sort of first started getting into makeup and wearing makeup. But the first sort of real product that I actually started wearing is a powder. So I found that by the end of the school day, my skin would be so oily and so shiny. So one of the first products I think I ever bought was a powder to sort of get rid of that shine, and my skin was always super matte because pretty much the only product I would apply to my face is powder so that it wouldn't get so oily. So that's kind of like a boring answer, I feel like, but that was the first product that I started using. And it's kind of funny because the next question is a makeup trend you used to love but now hate. And I don't know if this is really a trend, but it is using a lot of powder and having very matte skin. So I used to obviously apply a lot of powder because I would get oily by the end of the day. So I would sort of cake on the powder so it would absorb my oil and I wouldn't get shiny at all. And I used to love a really matte face, but now I love pretty much the opposite. I barely use any powder nowadays, and I pretty much only apply powder like under my eyes and in the T-zone where I tend to get a little bit oily, but other than that, I don't really use powder on my face at all. And then the next question is sort of the opposite of that. It is a trend you used to hate but now love, And I don't know if this is really, like, I didn't hate this at all, but my answer is blush, because I would just apply blush, like not really thinking about it. Like, okay, this sort of gives a little bit of color to my cheek, but it doesn't really do much. Like, it didn't really matter to me what blush I applied, and I feel like it didn't really make a difference. But now I really, really love blush, and I love a really heavy blush look. So I definitely apply a lot more blush now than I used to, and I definitely like applying blush a lot more than I used to back in the day. So I definitely didn't hate blush, but now I really, really love blush. And that is also the question to the next answer, which is what is my favorite step in my makeup routine, which was also kind of a hard one to choose, but I feel like blush just sort of brings life back to the skin, and it just makes your skin look so much more healthy. And I feel like I like a lot of steps in my makeup routine, but this was a really hard one to pick, so I just went with blush because that is one of my favorite steps. Another really difficult question is, what is a product that you can't live without? So at first I was thinking mascara, but recently I haven't really been wearing mascara that much. And then I thought of concealer, because I feel like just putting a little bit of concealer under your eyes to cover up a little bit of that darkness just brings your face back to life. But then I actually thought of sort of mascara and brows in one. I don't know, this makes no sense the way I'm explaining it, but basically recently I've been using brow gel as a mascara, so it just gives a really, really subtle natural look, and then that way I can use it as a mascara and a brow gel. So my final answer for this question is brow gel, because I can use it as a really, really natural mascara, and I can also run it through my brows, which are naturally pretty sparse. So I do like to have some sort of brow gel in my brows. The next question is a really fun one. It is, what sparked your love for makeup? And I've always been a very artistic person and creative, and I've always loved to like draw and paint and things like that. And before I got into makeup, I would actually do a lot of nail art, and I would literally spend hours and hours in my room just painting nails and creating nail art designs and things like that. So before I got into makeup, I kind of was into nail art, and then I don't know, I just switched over to really loving makeup. And it's also like another creative outlet. So I really love painting my nails still, but I don't do those crazy nail art designs and things. I'd rather spend an hour doing my makeup than like an hour painting my nails, if that makes sense. So I did have a love for nail art, and that just sort of turned into my love for makeup. And I feel like there's just so much to experiment with makeup. And I think sort of the way I got specifically into makeup is I would always go onto YouTube to watch nail art designs, and then you know how you go through that YouTube rabbit hole and you just go on an endless binge of videos. So I feel like the nail art binging turned into makeup binging, and all of a sudden I was just watching all these makeup YouTube videos, and I sort of strayed away from nail art and I turned it into more of a creativity for makeup. So I hope that makes sense, but basically my nail art obsession turned into a makeup obsession. The next question is, what is your worst makeup look? And I feel like I don't have any like terrible makeup looks, at least that I have documented. So obviously I do post a lot of my looks on Instagram, and I always have my Instagram down below in the description, so if you guys are interested, you can go check that out to see more of my makeup looks. But obviously I haven't been posting makeup looks on Instagram the whole time I've been doing makeup, so I feel like I don't have my worst looks documented. But I feel like one of the worst things when I started getting into makeup was how I used to fill in my eyebrows, and that was one of the first things I sort of started doing because I had such sparse eyebrows, and I feel like I would make my brows look so blocky at the front, and I feel like it just looked terrible, and I would make them so thick because I had naturally so thin and sparse eyebrows, so they would just be really thick and blocky. And I don't know why I thought that looked good. I guess I just didn't really know what I was doing at that point, but I also don't think I have any photos of that, so sorry I can't really show you guys. But I feel like that was one of the worst sort of makeup looks, I guess, is when I first started filling in my eyebrows, and I feel like everyone sort of goes through that phase of having weird eyebrows when they don't know what they're doing. The next one is my favorite makeup look, and this was a really, really hard one to choose. One of my favorites is a smoky eye that I did with the ABH and Jackie Aina palette, but I feel like I couldn't choose just one. I really love that kind of smoky eye look, and I feel like it just looks so nice with my light eyes. It just brings them out so much, and even though a smoky eye is not something I do very often, I do really love it when I do that type of look. And then the other favorite look that I had to include is a sort of green winged eyeliner, but it is still a little bit smoky, and you guys can see in the photo, but I just really love the way this looked, and I love that wing effect. And I don't normally do wings, but I really love the way this one turned out. The next question is my favorite drugstore product, and this again was another really hard one, but I feel like my favorite drugstore brand is Milani, so I knew I wanted to pick a Milani product, and I ended up going with the Milani Prep Set and Glow Illuminating Transparent Powder. So like I mentioned before, I do not like very matte skin, and I like my skin to be very glowy and healthy looking, but sometimes I feel like I need a little bit of powder because I do tend to get oily. So this is one of my favorite translucent sort of setting powders, and the reason I like it so much is because it's not completely matte. It gives a really nice natural glow and sheen to the skin, so it doesn't make your face look really matte and flat. And as you can see, obviously I do have pan on this. I have used this a ton. This is definitely a product that I would end up repurchasing once I go through it, and again, this is probably one of my favorite drugstore products. And then the next question is your favorite splurge product, and this was another more difficult one because I feel like I don't buy very many luxury products, but then I really thought of it and I thought my hourglass powder. So this is Luminous Bronze Light, so this is my bronzer. I do also have a couple blushes. I don't have them here with me, but I really love these powders, just the finish they give to your skin. Again, it's that really nice natural glow, and I definitely wouldn't buy any of these full price because I do not think they are worth the full price point, but if you can find these on sale for a really good deal, I would definitely recommend them. And again, they just give the most beautiful natural finish to the skin. Now the next one was also a difficult one because it is your most repurchased product, and because I have so much makeup, I don't really repurchase products because I never really end up going through them besides like mascaras and stuff, but I haven't found a mascara that I really love. So one product that I have repurchased is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist, and I think obviously this is a brand new bottle. I'm about to finish up the setting spray that I have, so I will then go on to this one, and I feel like this is only the second time I've repurchased it, maybe the second or third time, and I also really love their hyaluronic primer. Is that what it's called? Hyaluronic acid hydrating primer, I think. So I have repurchased both of these products, and I don't really support ColourPop anymore. I did buy these probably a month ago, obviously before I started my no buy, so I feel like I wouldn't repurchase this again. And I think, is it e.l.f. has a sort of setting mist that is similar to this, so I think I will switch to another one after I go through this, but I do really love it, and I just don't really support ColourPop anymore. So this is probably my most repurchased product, only because I don't really repurchase many things, and this is something that I go through pretty quickly. So I don't think I would end up repurchasing this again. I think I am gonna switch to another setting mist. The next one is my earliest makeup memory, and I don't know, this is like the most random memory I have, and it's almost one of these things like, did it even happen? Like, was that real, or did I just make that up in my mind? But basically, I had one of those makeup kits. You know those makeup kits, those like ancient ones that have layers to them, and they have pretty much everything in them. Like they'll have a layer of eyeshadows, and then you open that up and it's a layer of blushes, and then you open up that up and it's a layer of lipsticks or something. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And basically I had one of those palettes, and it had a purple eyeliner. It was like a light lilac purple, and for some reason I remember being like really young, like less than 10 years old, and I would take the purple eyeliner and just apply it as an eyeliner. I don't even remember what exactly it was, if it was supposed to be used as an eyeliner, but I would just apply that to my lash line, so it was just like a purple stripe across my lash line. And I kind of wish I had a photo to show you guys, But yeah, that is sort of the earliest memory I have with makeup, and it's kind of like really random. But I just remember doing the purple stripe on my eyelids and then feeling so confident and going out to like, I don't even know, the most random place with my mom or something. And yeah, all I was wearing for makeup was just a purple eyeliner on my lash line. So that is sort of the earliest, most random memory I have with makeup. The next question is your favorite place to shop for makeup. And I used to always shop at Sephora for like all of my high-end products, and then for every other product I would basically just buy it directly from their website. And I think I do prefer to buy directly from brands' websites, but recently I've been getting really into Ulta, and obviously I haven't been purchasing anything, but I've been going on the Ulta website just because I feel like it's so much better, because they have drugstore and high-end products. So they literally have everything you need from most brands that you could think of. So I feel like Ulta is just a better way to go, and you also get Ulta points, and I feel like the Ulta points and reward system is a lot better than Sephora, and obviously you can pretty much find all the products you need on Ulta. So all of the makeup you're buying goes back to your Ulta rewards points, if that makes sense. So I have been getting into Ulta, and I think I'm mostly going to be purchasing from Ulta from now on, but I do also like to purchase directly from a brand's website. The next question is, what is the most underrated product? And for this, I went with the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer Glow Quad. I purchased this during the Sephora VIB sale, and I haven't been able to stop using it. Basically, it has 3 cream highlighters and then 1 cream bronzer, and I really love all of the products in here, and I get use out of all 4 of these, which is something I really love, because I find that's the issue with a lot of face palettes, is I can't use all the shades in them. But I feel like no one really talks about this. I feel like I've heard maybe a couple YouTubers talk about it, but other than that, I feel like it's not really mentioned very often, and I feel like this is a very underrated product. And RMS Beauty is a clean beauty brand, and this is the mini version, so it is only $25. Their larger version, I believe, is like $48, but obviously it is a pretty pricey brand. They are a clean beauty brand, so they are going to be a little bit more on the pricey side, but I think this is so worth it for $25. The next question is the most overrated product, and this was a difficult one. I didn't really know what to say for this one, but I decided to just go with ColourPop. Like, ColourPop as a brand, I feel like is just so overrated. Yes, their products are good for the price, but I feel like they are very overhyped, and I feel like there's also other drugstore brands that do just as good as ColourPop, if not better products. So I feel like ColourPop is a brand that is very overhyped. The next one is a discontinued product you wish would come back, and I feel like this is the answer for a lot of people, but for this I chose the ABH and Jackie Aina palette. This is such a beautiful palette, and it's so well done. I really love the color story. It's one of the most versatile palettes in my collection, and I feel like everyone should have this palette in their collection, whether you like neutrals or you like bright colors, or no matter what kind of look you like. I feel like you can get any type of look out of this palette, and it's just so versatile, and I really love the formula as well. The next one is, where do you go for makeup inspiration? And I feel like I really just look at my collection for makeup inspiration. If I want to do a look with a certain eyeshadow palette, I will just look at the palette and see which specific shades I want to use. But if I do get inspired from outside sources, I guess, I definitely go to YouTube first. I feel like I watch YouTube more than I go on like Instagram, so I feel like YouTube would be my first pick, and then Instagram would be the second option. So definitely Instagram or YouTube. So yeah, I don't know, I just kind of get inspired by various places and platforms. We're getting down to the last couple questions. So the next one is, what do you hope to see less of in makeup's future? And for this, I chose oversaturation. So obviously the industry, there is so many brands, so many products, but I feel like brands like ColourPop, for example, are not really adding quality to the industry. It's more so they're focused on the quantity over the quality, which I don't like that mindset and that sort of concept. Obviously, ColourPop's whole brand is like the fast fashion version of makeup, which is why I kind of strayed away from ColourPop along with other reasons. But yeah, just the oversaturation of the industry is insane, and obviously it's going to keep growing, and there's going to be a lot more brands and more new brands, but I feel brands like ColourPop are not contributing quality to the industry. They're really just focused on putting out so many products, which I don't really like. And then the last question is, what do you hope to see more of in makeup's future? And for this, definitely more cruelty-free brands and more brands becoming cruelty-free. I feel like a lot of brands have gone sort of backwards on their cruelty-free status, which is really, really sad. So I would love to see a lot of brands move forward with their cruelty-free status and a lot of brands becoming cruelty-free in the future. That is it for this fun little makeup tag. I really, really loved filming this for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments some of your guys' answers to these questions, because I would really love to chat with you guys and learn more about you. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I do post new videos about 3 times a week. So if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.